Sam Tompkins back in this team? I believe they have. He didn't play in that defeat to St Helens, and him being involved makes it all the more secure for me that Catalan will do the business today.
We're underway, and it's Saints with first touch of the ball and first resolute defence from this Catalan Dragon side in grey on a grey evening. But this will brighten up these dark skies, that's for sure. And such expectation around the ground. You feel that while there is a big contingent of Saints supporters here this evening, that there are plenty of neutrals who will be behind the Dragons.
Yes, lots of fans have been looking forward to this one, and you know, this Catalan side are a physical side this year. Catalan deserve to be where they are currently in the table. They've been brilliant. The League Leaders' Shield will be nice, but lifting the trophy at Old Trafford, that'll do wonders for Rugby League in the south of France come the end of the year.
Coote gets the first kick of the game away into the hands of Sam Tompkins. His first meeting with the Saints side this season, having missed both games so far this year, Sam Tompkins. And he, no doubt, will be very influential in the Catalan performance. And Dean Fare taking that ball in. Fare back in the side for Steve McNamara this evening, the former Kiwi international, and that is a big bonus as he's missed the last two games. Here is Julien Bousquet, and Bousquet, good drive from him, taking Wellesby with him and up towards the halfway line. Now here's Matt Whitley, another player returning to this Catalan side, having missed the last 5 games, the former Widner's second row. On the last, and the ball back with Maloney, who gets the kick away, gets some height on it, not great depth, and Coote tries to claim it. The ball is knocked to the ground, and the referee says there is a knock-on in there. Whose knock-on was it, Liam Moore?
Yes, well, Sammy Sonilangi, he chased really hard the left centre, knowing that he's got to put some pressure on Coote. See, Sam Tompkins as well goes up, the ball comes back off his head, goes forward, does it off Tommy Makinson.
Bousquet is already in the war, has got a cut on the brow. Just boxer's cut there.
It was a good contest, wasn't it? Paul Sculthorpe, our studio guest, talking about the kicking game. Put it up high and let your chasers get there or find some grass. It's a really difficult job trying to control Makinson and the amazing Regan Grace on that first carry. They generate the momentum, and as this kick goes up, who's leading the chase? Well, Sam Tompkins. And the knock-on from St Helens gives the Catalan Dragons the first look at the line.
Well, still Bousquet is being patched up, and I think that was when he was taking that ball up, that strong drive a few moments ago. And so play is held up.
Well, he's a strong player, isn't he? Just has to change his shirt because there's blood on it. Heavyweight clash this between the two most consistent sides in the competition this year. I was expecting a high quality game. Well, Alex Walmsley, the battle between him and Bousquet will be so important. See who can get the dominance in that centre field in those battles.
There are duels all over the field, before the big boys come into it. That back five, all the players from full-back to the wingers have to do their job. They have to generate that momentum. So Davis and Fouad Yaha, they need to do their stuff. Fouad Yaha scored 3 tries last week. We know when he gets near the line, we know what he can do, but he's got to do more work coming away from his own line to give the likes of Bousquet and Desiree a chance to dominate their opposition.
Well, Bousquet is patched up, and we are ready to continue. The crowd getting a little bit restless at the delay. Sam Tompkins, ball in hand, and Catalan, after that knock-on from Lachlan Coote, with a good opportunity in the early stages of this game. Game 2 of Magic Weekend at St James's Park. And Michael McAlorum, a Gallic shrug from the Catalan hooker, once to the Wigan Warriors. Very much at home in the south of France, McAlorum. And serves that ball up, and Maloney onto McMeekin, and McMeekin, who got a career first hat-trick in that game last Monday. plays the ball. Maloney, Jordan Desiree drives it in, but is driven back by the Saints defenders, who met fire with fire there. Wormsley and Matty Lees. Maloney on by Drinkwater, and Tompkins a little step, another step from Tompkins, and Tompkins, magnificent, magnifique from Sam Tompkins under the noses of the Saints supporters, and he opens the scoring in this crucial game. His first appearance of the season against St Helens, and he's already had an impact with his 10th try of the season.
Well, he's an outstanding player. He just lets the defence make their own decisions. As soon as he sees players fall on the floor and take the wrong option and send the hips towards the sideline, it makes his decision far easier. You can see a couple of the Saints players fall for the dummy, and Jack Wellesley falls on the ground, and Morgan Knowles and Lachlan Coote can't close him down. He's the best support player in Super League, but he's also got that in his game. He likes to attack the line, and that's what it means to the coach, Steve McNamara. He wanted a good start, and he's certainly got it.
He's got 7 tries in his last 7 games now, and Sam Tompkins already having an impact on this contest.
He'll cover some metres in this game. The lines that he runs out the back, it will be up there, the top 5 in Super League for running metres in a game. 4 of them are by the fullbacks, and Sam Tompkins knows how to play in big games.
And it was the former Catalan fullback in the previous game, playing for Salford, Morgan Escaré, that covered a total of 8,494 metres. So a lot of work to do.
Well, here's James Maloney. His career at the Catalan Dragons coming to a close. He's moving on, hanging up his boots as far as top-level professional rugby league goes, but he is going to be still in France at the end of the season with Lesnion. Here you go. Look at this from Sam Tompkins.
He's an elegant player, isn't he? He just glides, uses that long lolloping style of his, changes direction, goes from one swimming channel to another, and leaves defenders in his wake. You know, he said during the week that he was a better player a couple of years ago. I think he's in wonderful form in 2021.
6-0 then, the Catalan Dragons lead. And here is Jordan Desiree, who has been starting for Steve McNamara the last couple of games. He's gone with him again this evening, and that's quite a turnaround for Desiree, who made his debut for the Catalan Dragons some 4 years ago, and was then in the wilderness, really. Couldn't get a look in the side, went off to play in the Championship, played with Toulouse, and now he's fought his way back and is in the starting lineup and keeping Gil Dudson on the bench this evening. Here's Gudemons, another of the French internationals out there. Maloney, Bousquet onto Maloney. Tompkins taken high there, taken high, and Catalan Dragons objecting to that by Mark Percival.
Mark Percival, man of the match on Monday against Warrington. He picks the line, he sees him out the back. You can see that Sam Tompkins is trying to let the ball do the work, to skip outside of Percival, and he cops him high. And the right decision by the referee.
It is a lunging arm, isn't it? And Mark Percival, we've already commented on how Sam Tompkins can beat players with that long stride. In the early stages, just 6 minutes on the clock. You can see, can't you? Legs wide open, both feet off the ground. I hope we can go through a full 80 minutes and not have to debate whether a player should or shouldn't go to the sin bin. I want to see all 13 players on board.
6 minutes of the game gone. It's been an eventful start to this crucial contest. Sam Tompkins still getting checked over, and yes, Mark Percival, as anticipated, goes to the sin bin early on in this game.
They're inconsistent, aren't they, referees? Anything above the shoulder, they'll spend 10 minutes at least on the sideline, and that's a big loss when you lose Mark Percival for 10 minutes over on that left-hand side. But Sam Tompkins, he's a mark man. Scored that try so easy on 3 minutes. Then Percival jumps the line, makes the decision. You can see he's trying to play and get outside of Mark Percival.
Mark Percival, player of the match against Warrington. And now it just shows how sport can change. 1 minute he's the hero with that magnificent try against Warrington. The next he's heading for the sidelines. The yellow card waved at him by Liam Moore, the referee. Jordan Desiree then takes the Catalan Dragons up to the halfway line.
He still could come back on and be the hero for Saints.
I wouldn't bet against it. He is in good form, and so is McMeekin. And McMeekin gets that ball away to Tom Davis.
That's his job all night, Mike McMeekin, picking out young Lewis Dodd.
Now that Percival isn't there, there's a bit more space around him. He had a wonderful game back in May when Catalan Dragons were the victors over Saints.
Here's Langy getting away, getting the pass to Fouad Yaha, and Yaha sliding to the sideline and over the sideline. And that's good Saints defence. Makinson getting the plaudits of his teammates.
Outstanding defence, wasn't it? You felt that Catalan Dragons had found some space on the edge. And Fouad Yaha, as we've mentioned, scored a hat-trick last weekend. He's got the fullback in his sights. He knows he's got to stay on the island, so he angles his body in, uses his shoulder to try and bump off the fullback, but the fullback makes the challenge and keeps his studs in the ground and pushes him over the sideline.
Steve McNamara frustrated that Catalan Dragons couldn't capitalise on a big opportunity there, but the pitch is very damp. It's been murky and drizzly all day here, and that probably helped Saints there as they slithered Fouad Yaha over the sidelines. So St Helens will just look to really settle down, get a set completed, having been under the cosh a bit.
And Saints, the side that's had a lot of success in those grand finals on those wet nights, play behind a long kicking game, turn Catalan around and chase really hard and cut down the back three. Well, Tom Davis gets the ball. What about his kick returns this year? He's been one of the best in Super League.
Ian Proctor just pointing out that that is Mark Percival going to the sin bin as the St Helens 8th sin binning of the season. But then again, 3 of those sin binnings belong to James Bentley in the last 3 weeks.
I think has he been sin bin 4 times this year, James Bentley? 3 of those in the last week.
Not last week.
In the last 3 weeks, sorry. So that's a bit harsh on him, isn't it?
Seems to me you can get sent to the sin bin for sneezing these days, but there you go.
Well, it's Catalan Dragons in possession. And here is the patched up Julian Bousquet. That's the 5th tackle just inside St Helens territory. Drinkwater onto Maloney. It's Maloney drilling a kick in towards the sidelines. And Coote wants nothing to do with that one.
There's a good understanding between those two halves, isn't there? 6 and 7 working in tandem. They have an understanding of one another. Drinkwater didn't like what he saw. He put that pass in, and then as soon as James Maloney could get it safely away, he puts the kick in. So important in any good team to have synchronised thinking in those key positions. Fullback, 6, 7 and 9. Both teams have that in bucket loads.
Well, of course, Saints missing Theo Farge and Johnny Lomax. But their deputies, Lewis Dodd and Jack Welsby, are capable of standing up to the best, as we saw against Warrington with Williams and Widdop. It's Saints in possession now. And here is Lewis Dodd. He's 19 years of age, and he doesn't even look 19 at times. Coote now. Coote onto the aforementioned Welsby. The Saints supporters thinking that was high on their man. It's on the last, and Coote hoists that kick. Tompkins is underneath it, and Lees was quickly on him, missed him. But then the follow-up tackle from Grace closed down the fullback. Here is Tom Davis now.
Well, good job. There was a little step up from Sam Tompkins when he catches that ball. Otherwise, he would have been knocked over the try line from Matty Lees.
This will be the deepest that Catalan have had to work the ball away, and that's come from the good work on the ball, and then in terms of their defence, making sure they get that spot on.
Here's Langy now over the 20-metre line, and Saints looking to restrict the Catalan Dragons' progress. And they're doing that well. Roby with the tackle on Fouad Yaha. Now it's Maloney, thumps that kick deep downfield.
Oh,
but Coote is well positioned.
Danger. Such a good runner of the ball, Lachlan Coote, and both wingers. You see Tommy Makinson gets back and gets ready for work. I'll never forget the try he scored against Hull, playing on the left wing, went over to the right, virtually ran the length of the field to score it.
Here's Nagama now for St Helens, who've won 15 of their 18 games so far this season. One of those defeats at the hands of the Catalan Dragons in Perpignan. And Catalan have won 18 of 20, and one of their defeats at the hands of St Helens in St Helens. Here is Alex Wormsley taking the Catalan defenders with him as he advances into Catalan territory. Little kick through the middle and they couldn't take it. Desiree it was. The ball coming at him at speed and he couldn't handle it.
That's it, Bill, that's it. He's looking for a support player. It's Jack Welsby who's chasing hard. The fullback, Lachlan Coote, puts it in. He's trying to get some distance on the kick, and unfortunately, the front row just can't handle that ball. There's a penalty here for a late hit on Lachlan Coote as he puts that kick in. It's a shoulder charge from Mike McMeekin. I mentioned that game back in May, and there were a couple of world-class offloads from the big back rower. He needs to find that arm. He's a prolific offloader of the ball, and with there being a bit of space and Mark Percival in the sin bin, needs to bring that out to play sooner rather than later.
So St Helens benefit from that penalty and looking to take advantage. 12 men on the field as Matty Lees plays the ball. Now Wormsley, 10 metres or so out, bang in front of those posts. Roby's pass, Welsby's pass, Coote, and Makinson in at the corner. And Liam Moore has not awarded that try yet. There's a suggestion that Makinson lost the ball as he dived for the corner.
Well, he gets these right week in, week out, doesn't it? Thomas Makinson, no, spot on. In discipline, gave St Helens that penalty, and it was precision that got them the try.
Tommy Makinson's 5th try of the season, just back in the side after a 2-game ban, having been sent off against the Catalan Tigers. What a finisher he is.
Catalan Dragons, they can't afford to be on the wrong side of the penalty count and give opportunities to St Helens like this. Wonderful ball, wasn't it? Jack Welsby playing at standoff, catches that ball, floats it into the path of the fullback, who's had a huge involvement in the opening 13 minutes, Lachlan Coote. And Tommy Makinson already 1,360 metres. And we'll keep watching his stats. There are some of the best wingers on show in this fixture.
Now then, Coote from wide outs and just pushes it across the face of the posts. St Helens 4, the Catalan Dragons 6. Tommy Makinson salutes the Saint supporters who salute him for this effort.
Late movement from Jack Welsby, comes from the other side of the play, the ball, makes the extra number and then delivers the pass, puts it on a play. Great stuff from St Helens, great reply.
They got the Saints' first try of the season after just 3 minutes against Salford. Way back. Here we are now in the closing weeks of the season. Just a couple of games of the regular season to go after this. And then we get to the playoffs, and these two, of course, in pole position. But who will be in pole position?
Well, Saints, the reigning back-to-back Super League champions, don't want to give up the title. Even with 12 men on the field, they still know how to break down a good defensive outfit in Catalan. They'll shift the ball with purpose, they run with purpose. Alexa Wormsley leads from the front week in, week out. Averages 172 metres a game, Wormsley.
There's a Sione Matauti. We've seen his brother on this pitch already in the first game of this Magic Weekend. Player of the match for the Castleford Tigers in their victory over Salford, which got the Magic Weekend underway. One more game to come this evening. And the kick down the middle of the field sits up nicely for Sam Tompkins. He gets it to Yaha, but there's nowhere for Fuad Yaha to go. Yes, that's the fine aim this evening, 7:15, and a crucial game it is as well, as far as the top six goes, against Leeds Rhinos and Hull FC. Rounds off day one here at St James's Park. Here's Tom Davis and Lewis Dodd just managing to cling on to the former Wigan winger. Dean Fare now. And Catalan still inside their own half. St Helens doing well. Remember, they're down to 12. Mark Percival still off the pitch. 20 seconds before he returns. And in fact, Saints in his absence have got points on the board. The kick is a high one, and Coote is underneath it. And then finds Makinson.
He's not afraid to link up, is he, with Makinson? We've seen him do it the last couple of years. They'll bounce across the field. They look to link up at the back. And Mark Percival now back onto the field. He'll look to get his hands on the ball here.
Grace plays the ball inside his zone 20, and here he is, straight back in the action. Mark Percival looking to make up for lost time. 10 minutes of it. Welsby onto Bentley. And Bentley just inside his own 40.
That's
and Matty Lees.
Good stuff between the forwards there. Morgan Knowles and Matty Lees finishing that set off on the front foot, and that's the reason the ball is placed off the boot. And Fuad Yaha under pressure, he does incredibly well there, doesn't he? Return that ball. Saints have wrestled momentum in this game now. They've put a couple of decent sets back to back, and Catalan Dragons, we seem to be looking more to our right when Saints finished their sets.
Yeah, the Dragons struggling to make a bit of headway this set. Lange tackled on his own 30-metre line. And again, good defence from the Saints, and Roby leading by example there.
Well, they've been outstanding all year defensively, Saints. You just don't get any change out Christian Wolf's men.
Fifth tackle, so Maloney pushes the kick towards the sidelines, but Coote comes across.
And again, linking up on this occasion with Regan Grace. The game management from Maloney and Drinkwater is going to be imperative in this game if they're going to go on and win.
It doesn't happen by fluke, the fact that the wingers and fullback link up. As soon as that kick goes in, the other two, as part of that triangle, just look to get involved and get back as quick as they can. Grace, Makinson and Lachlan Coote in perfect synergy.
Welsby, and now they'll go for a bit of width with Nagama, and Nagama is brought down by Samisoni Lange, but it's a quick play, the ball, and Makinson picks up and keeps things moving, and now it's Welsby, and Saints threatening here. Welsby with the kick, nobody chasing. Oh, the ball almost gets away from Tom Davis, and Davis is taken back over his own try line, and Saints will get the ball back. Good set there from the Saints.
Well, tremendous play from Jack Welsby to pick that ball up and then nail the kick and follow it up and take Tom Davis over the try line. That's a huge effort and a big win for Saints. Normally you see a bad pass leads to a mistake, and Christian Wolf knows that them little plays build that pressure that you're after in big games.
Good boy, says Christian Wolf of Jack Welsby as well. He might. You think, look at those meters that he's accumulated already. And no wonder they talk about him as a future Saints captain. He's only 20 years of age. He's been ever present in all 21 games this season.
And he's leading the competition currently for meters in a match.
Well, here's Percival, and Percival for Coote, and Coote will get a try for the Saints that puts them in the lead. And Mark Percival back from the sin bin, making an immediate impact. Slipping the pass infield, and Lachlan Coote in support to claim the try, his 7th of the season. They got a try and 7 from 7 against the Catalan Dragons in the big win in August. He's on the board tonight.
Well, tremendous play from Matt, from Wellesby, to get another set of 6 and then to get the ball over on the left-hand side, and Lachlan Coote just following up Matt Percival. The travelling Saints fans knows what it means to get on the scoreboard, keep posting those points against this Catalan side.
Well, if it was Jack Wellesby over here on the right for the previous tie, it was Lewis Dodd. Lachlan Coote, again, another player putting work in. But he's benefiting from the intelligent decisions being made from Lewis Dodd and Jack Wellesby, so young and so early in their development as halfbacks, completely controlling their side.
So the Saints, having conceded points early on in this game to the Catalan Dragons, have been the dominant side in the last 10-12 minutes. Despite losing a man to the sin bin, Coote's got the try, and he has converted. St Helens lead by 10 points to 6.
Well, you're right, Bill. They hardly touched the ball in the opening 5 minutes. Lachlan Coote on hand again. He puts the pass in, stays in the frame, and benefits from an offload. Christian Wolf, Paul Helens, enjoying what his side have done. 5 minutes of hardly touching it, and then 15 minutes where they've managed to dictate the pace of this game.
And no wonder Christian Wolf was saying good lad of Jack Wellesby, because it was his kick that put Catalan under pressure, and St Helens capitalised on it.
Like I said before, from a bad pass, and a lot of talk about Jack Wellesby and Lewis Dodd. They are surrounded by quality, which makes their job easier. Jack Wellesby scored 12 tries this year for Saints. And when you've got the likes of Morgan Knowles playing in front of you, you know that you're going to get some decent opportunities in the game.
We're going to learn a lot about Catalan Dragons here, aren't they? They're behind on the scoreboard. The momentum has swung in favour of their opposition. What have they got in their locker to bring it back in favour of Steve McNamara's team?
The Catalan coach looking on. It's been a long day for his side as Roby drills a good kick downfield. They were off at the airport at 8:30 this morning in Perpignan, flown again on the day. And they'll turn round and go home after, they hope, a crucial victory. But at the moment they trail by 10 points to 6. Here's Samisoni Langi.
They're going into this game and the back end of the year, both of these sides know that this could be a grand final dress rehearsal, and been in this situation as a player, you want to make sure that you come out on top, so it goes in that memory bank for if you do meet at Old Trafford on the 9th of October, you want to be the winner, the one who's going in there with a bit of form.
Set restart hooter sounding there in favour of the Catalan Dragons, the first time it's sounded in this game this evening, so they've got more tackles to play with this set, more opportunity to find a way upfield and try and unsettle the St Helens defence as Joel Tompkins on the field plays the ball. Maloney's kick and Coote underneath it. Coote, of course, leaving the Saints at the end of this season on his way to Hull Kingston Rovers for the 2022 campaign, the Scottish international. Here is Makinson.
What a signing he has been, Lachlan Coote and his outside backs. I do believe that the reason why they have a lot of success is because of the work the back five do. And Joel Tompkins just come onto the field, already got a cut. One of 5 ex-Wigan Warriors in this Catalan side, playing against Saints.
I think he just clashes heads with Alex Walmsley. He's trying to get his head away. There's a little clash there. Another boxer's cut, Bill.
Was it Walmsley's chin? I think
it might have been Morgan Knowles who catches him. Alex Walmsley was involved in the tackle. The big imposing figure. Walmsley, you can see that there when they come together. Yes, it is Alex Walmsley, sorry.
All right, aggressive. I accept your apology.
It's only game 2. Could be a long weekend. So another Catalan player in need of attention, and in fact Sam Cassiano is going to come on while Joel Tompkins is tended to. So Sam Cassiano, as is usual, off the bench.
And sometimes if you're just looking for your second win, it's not the figure that you want to see coming on. Nice and fresh. Sam Cassiano involved in that tackle,
and the ball comes out and it's knocked on. An immediate impact, and impact is the word.
His first involvement is to swallow up Matty Lees. Well, he doesn't hold back Matty Lees when he runs the ball, and Sam Cassiano comes onto the field knowing that you've got to make an impact. An impact he certainly does. When he slams him to the ground, the ball comes out, and just look at that. Spots him, gets him to the ground and forces the error.
He looks lean, doesn't he, Sam Cassiano there? Looks like he's shed a couple of kilos.
Big Sam, well, he'll be fresh. He missed the last game, the big victory, 11-try victory against the Lee Centurions. So ready for action. The former Canterbury and Melbourne front rower. But he is used off the bench by Steve McNamara. He's been in the side for 18 of the 22 games, and every game he's come off the bench. Here he is again. Oh!
Do you know,
it's still going.
Third player to Matty Lee as well. He was the one who saw Cassiano lining up for it, and he's gone after him.
I think he's on wobbly legs, Matty Lees. He comes away staggering a little bit. I'm sure that the medical staff will be watching.
Well, that's a big drive from Cassiano. Now then, can Catalan build on the back of it? Here is Michael Gudemond, Michael McAlorum, Julian Bousquet. Drinkwater very quickly closed down by the excellent Jack Welsby. But quick play the ball. Cassiano goes. Tompkins on the last puts the kick in, and Makinson coolly picks that ball up off his toes.
Well, straight into attack mode, Tommy Makinson then, knowing that he had to gather that ball and under a bit of pressure.
Max speed so far this evening achieved by Kevin Nagama.
All Saints players. All Saints players winning that battle so far.
Well, Regan Grace down in 5th in that list, but you'd fancy that he'll do something about that. Bousquet looks up and he's founded. Yaha is hounded by Makinson.
Well, throughout Yaha spent more time running backwards chasing the ball because of Saints' long kicking game.
I don't think we've got a stat for that.
No.
Running backwards. Tom Davis and Catalan desperately struggling to make some headway here, and Tompkins.
Oh, that's a
look
body.
At what?
He goes left, he goes right, he can't get the ball to anybody.
They probably had about 5 or 6 minutes of that. Catalan Dragons failing to make enough meters, failing to make enough territory, and then when they're putting the kick on, they're desperately trying to get as much length as they can. And just as I mentioned, Matty Lees was on wobbly legs. He's left the field for St Helens now. Sure, we'll get an update from Jenna.
Well, eventually the kick from Maloney was deep into Saints territory, and now it's the Catalans' turn to try and put the squeeze on the champions. Saints second in the table, Catalan ahead of them by a narrow percentage at the moment. So Saints win this evening would close the gap still further with 2 games to go. Saints have got Leeds at home and Salford away. Catalan Giants next up for them. Catalan Dragons next up for them, the Huddersfield Giants. And then they finish with a game at Wigan. Wigan, the winners of last season's League Leaders Trophy. How about if St Helens had to hope that Wigan would beat Catalan Dragons to decide the league leadership? Meanwhile, the knock-on, Kyle Amor protesting.
Well, Catalan trying to get a result on the back of that. That ball stripped from Kyle Amor.
Liam Moore didn't think so.
No. Well, that's one that's got away. Catalan will get this ball here, centre field, 25 metres from the line.
I'm going to go back to the ability of St Helens to make those metres. Players like Percival and Tommy Makinson are standing 10 and 12 metres before the advantage line, so as soon as they collect the ball, they're more or less at full pace, full tilt. They get through contact, they play the ball quick, and that cycle just makes it a more positive set for St Helens. Catalan Dragons need to find somebody to do the same job.
Well, here is Gil Dudson off the bench, back in the side after 2 games out, the Welsh international Cassiano. Up to that 40-metre line for the Catalan Dragons. Matty Lee's undergoing a head injury assessment while he's off the field. Here is Makinson now. Ignatius Passy out there. Now Cassiano.
He's seen plenty of the ball, isn't he? Sam Cassiano.
McLaurin. Here is Busquets. The pass, oh, it's a beautiful one into the arms of Langy. And Samisoni Langy trying to take Coote with him, but Coote stood his ground.
That was an outstanding ball, that to Langy.
Second time Lachlan Coote's put his body on the line.
On the last, the kick is high and hanging, and it's Percival who went for it. It's Matautia who came up with it.
Well, they did well under enormous pressure under the sticks then to come up with that ball. They're going hunting it now. Look at McLaurin. Nice carry from Jack Welsby at the back.
Oh, they concede the penalty.
That's a big play from Jack Welsby. They're on the line. He takes the first carry, knows he's got to play it quick. 2 men behind on the floor. Samisoni Langy goes through, and Lachlan Coote, the second time he's had to come up with a big effort at the back. And Matautia, look at this. The pressure that he had to deal with then. And on the back of all that, they get the penalty and they get the ball away from the line.
Is there a more demanding job in modern-day rugby league than the full-back position? He's got to be absolutely everywhere, cover every inch of the field, make try-scoring decisions, and save tries and put the body on the line.
Oh dear. Passy, but that one went forward from Welsby.
I thought the ref was going to let that go then.
Just a moment, I think Catalan did.
Yeah, the ball went up in the air. Jack Welsby tried to catch it. It goes over his head. And the wrecking ball, Passy, gets it, and he's in the clear.
So first real error, I think, from the Saints so far in this contest. Coming up towards the half-hour mark, they lead by 10 points to 6. It's Catalan in possession. Here is Gil Dudson now. Missed the last couple of games. Bentley tangling with him. And here's Michael McLaurin. He's had a stop-start season as well. He was out for 8 games, and St Helens are offside.
Well, he's a big plus, isn't he, McLaurin, when he's in the side. He does drive the defence centre field. They get the penalty for being offside.
We've hardly had to look in this direction. Catalan Dragons struggle to make ground.
Well, they're not struggling now, because Drinkwater almost wrong-footed the Saints' defence, and they had to come to the rescue to stop him. And then in the end, they managed to send him back where he came from, back towards that 10-metre line. Here is Dudson once more, but Dudson is stopped in his tracks. Amor and Passy doing the tackling. The pass is a stray one, and it goes behind, and it's picked up by Makinson, and Saints very nearly caught out there, because they'd come steaming up to try and pick up the loose ball, and Makinson almost capitalised. Little kick, it ricochets into the hands of Tompkins.
Not played up.
That's the 5th. And now Drinkwater hoists another kick high into the air, and it's batted down, knocked on by the Saints, and Catalan surely can capitalise here now.
I couldn't take that ball in then, Mark Percival. Again, another good kick from Catalan.
And the set restart hooter sounds as well, so big pressure on the Saints' defence. Dudson and Walmsley tangling. Drinkwater onto Tompkins. Tompkins has done it once to Saints this evening. They weren't going to let him do it again. It's with Samisoni Langy. but Welsby there to assist Nagama. Fuad Yaha. Here is Drinkwater. Here is Matt Whitley now. Whitley to Lange. Lange a little step. Samisoni Lange. It's Amor's tackle that stopped his progress. McAlorum appealing. Gets the pass away. Cassiano, and it's straight into the hands of Percival. And Percival.
Mike McMeekin is too wide. He's in the next channel. And that ball, far too long, and Mark Percival thankfully, gleefully picks it up.
He was too wide, McMeekin, but that was a bit of panic because of strong defence.
I genuinely think Mike McMeekin fluffs his lines there. I think he realised too late where he should have been. But what a defensive effort from St Helens. They lost the ball on the last tackle. They got a 6 again from Mike McMeekin. Well, again, they won't get too many chances like that, Catalan Dragons.
Oh, Passy offloaded that ball, and Roby was alert because it almost fell into Dragons' hands. That's a good kick, and Fuad Yaha is back there to gather the ball before Nakama can get there.
And you take that on the fourth play.
Dacia Magic Weekend continues tomorrow from 12:55. Sky Sports Arena Day 2. 3 more matches coming up for you. Another match to come this evening. Leeds against Hull FC still to come. And supporters of both clubs in the stadium. Catalan have coughed up possession.
Wow, tired player that. Michael McAlorum looking, pleading with players to get in and get involved, and Samisoni Lange, he makes the mistake.
Well, that could be costly for the Catalan Dragons just before half-time, and Kyle Amor. Lange couldn't take it. Well, Saints might take the chance. Here is Passy driving it towards those Catalan posts. Dudson and Cassiano combine to stop him. Roby spins the ball out to Welsby. Welsby loops the pass over the top, bounces it on. Does Nagama to Makinson. Makinson this time is corralled by the Catalan defenders. 4 tackles gone. Coote, Roby across the field. Amor takes the tackle. That's the 5th. About 15 metres they are out away from that try line as Dodd puts a kick across against the grain, and Cassiano will pick it up. It's knocked on, says the referee. Saints will get it back.
Where do you want it?
You see it so many times, Saints. They'll go one side of the road and they'll kick back against the grain, hoping to catch one of the opposition players just switching off. Lachlan Coote called for that, put his hand up. And Sam Cassiano, and he makes the mistake.
Mike McMeekin is in front of Sam Cassiano. Whatever the decision is, Saints again with more field position. Another opportunity to score. It's just creaking again, the Catalan defence.
And St Helens can really assert their authority with half-time approaching. Matty Lees, beg your pardon. Batchelor it is held under those post-set restart. Hooter signals, and here is Matautia. Here is Matautia. There is the Saints try. And Catalan pay the price for that error. And St Helens, 6-0 down early on in this contest, extend their lead. 14 points to 6, kick to come. Sione Matautia. It's been a good day for the Matautia brothers so far here in the Magic Weekend.
Well, an excellent kick by St Helens. Played for and almost bounced up into the hands of Lachlan Coote. The mistake is made by Sam Cassiano. Beautiful catch and pass again by Jack Welsby. And Matautia, he only knows one way to run, hard and straight. And he goes against the grain, a lovely left foot step. And even though he gets a bit of attention around the shoulders, has enough drive, enough determination to get another try. A couple of minutes to go before half-time. And the travelling army from St Helens are having a terrific time over to our left. Sione Matautia, 3,500 metres already. And this is a good look into how much work players do. We only judge players on what they do when they've got the ball in hand.
So Coote with another 2 points. The trusty boot of Lachlan Coote extends the Saints' advantage, 16 points to 6.
This took some scoring. Look how hard he was coming back against the grain. And then he's got to get rid of 5 defenders that do play well when they're down near the try line. But the positive end to the sets of 6 has been a big plus in the last 25 minutes for Matautia and his teammates.
Third try of the season for Matautia. The other 2 came against the Lee Centurions, bottom of the table, so he's got one against the top of the table side, the Catalan Dragons. Steve McNamara. There's Chan alongside him, just discussing how the first half has slipped away from them, really. Good start from the Catalan Dragons.
They just haven't spent enough time down this end of the field, Catalan Dragons, and when they have, they've looked tired, they've looked unorganised at times, and that's that level of composure that champion teams have.
Here is Bentley now. Matty Lees has come through his head injury assessment and he'll be able to return.
Well, the Saints player, James Roby's just going up to the referee thinking that there was a crusher on Bentley. When he hits the ground here, you can see he runs straight at Sam Cassiano. He gets caught underneath the big fella as he just lands on top of him. And Bentley then loses possession. It's an awkward tackle.
It does happen when players are running backwards. When he's got his back to the defender, he gets folded in half, doesn't he?
Well, he gets caught underneath him. Sam Cassiano does come down on the back of Bentley. So he picks him out, doesn't he? Bentley runs straight at him. Then he's turning, trying to go to ground. Cassiano, the bigger man, manhandling him.
Referee Liam Moore is just, I think, taking the opinion of video ref James Child.
Do you know, the video ref will be looking at this, seeing where his hands are, how he catches his head in a dangerous position. There you go.
Well, in fact, he's going to sin bin Sam Cassiano for that. And Cassiano is not best impressed.
Well, Sam Cassiano, he's got to find space when he's taking Bentley to ground. He does the hard stuff, he hits him, he holds him, but then putting him down, he's got to create that space between him and the attacking player.
Just having a word with Tommy Makinson as he was leaving the field. Bentley's back on his feet, seems to be okay. So Cassiano, second player in this game to be sin-binned, just as slightly bemused by that decision.
Well, this 12-men Catalan side have got to hang on. They can really turn the screw. St Helens with a couple of minutes to go. Well, Christian Wolf, he's asking questions, eyebrows raised.
He'll take it though, won't he?
Yeah. Paul Whelan's being completely non-committal there.
Yeah.
Well, can St Helens capitalise now? The Dragons couldn't capitalise when Saints went down to 12 with Percival in the sin bin. In fact, Saints scored when they were a man down. But the way this second half has developed, you get the feeling that Saints are perfectly placed to post more points before the half-time hooter sounds. Here's Lewis Dodd. Joel Tompkins patched up and back on the field. Roby, Amor, back to Matty Lees. Tompkins, who will be Joel Tompkins, that is, who'll be a Lee Centurions player next season, making the tackle. Dodd with a little kick in. Oh, it just got away from Batchelor under the posts.
Well, he was checked by Sam Tompkins then. As Batchelor goes for that. It was a good kick yet again.
Can you please check for the merits of a penalty try?
Well, they're going to check here for a penalty try. Was there a shoulder charge by Sam Tompkins?
Aren't they creative at this end of the field? they really come alive, don't they? A step off the right foot by Lewis Dawdy, puts the kick in. Joe Batchelor's chasing hard.
Oh, there's nothing.
There is a collision. This might tell us the full story here. They're all heading towards the ball.
Oh, it's Maloney, isn't it?
Maloney, shoulder charges in. Well, there's the full story.
It's a good kick, isn't it, from Dodd? Well, Maloney,
James Maloney's making no attempt to get the ball.
Exactly, he's looking straight at Batchelor, isn't he?
There could be another man down very shortly.
He's looking straight at, he's not going for the ball. James Maloney, fabulous player, the most penalised player in Super League. Does he take possession of that ball? Joe Batchelor, does he catch it? There's definitely a penalty there, definitely.
What is referee Liam Moore going to do after this decision, which is no try? But it's his next action that's going to be interesting.
It's a penalty, isn't it?
It's a penalty.
It's what happens to Maloney.
Okay. I think he's lucky. I think he's lucky, Maloney.
I agree, he's not even looking at the ball.
Penalty.
Discipline is so important, especially when momentum is against the side. I think he's very lucky.
That could have been a penalty try, that. Definitely could have been a penalty try for me.
And a sin binning.
Yeah. He's a very lucky boy, like I said. He's a fabulous player, but he's the most penalised player in Super League. Batchelor catches that ball, he scores the try. He's a very lucky man.
Well, they've got off lightly, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 points for Coote.
And already with Sam Cassiano in the sin bin, another player in the sin bin.
He is a seasoned campaigner, isn't he, James Maloney, hanging up his top flight boots at the end of the season. He will, as I said at the start, be playing for Lesignan next season, joining Sam Moa at that club in the elite French competition. And Coote, another 2 points to his tally for this game. In the playoffs last year, he got 24 points against the Catalan Dragons with 2 tries and 7 goals. And he's extended the Saints' lead 18 points to 6. Final action of this first half there. Steve McNamara down on the sidelines. And his side, having led 6-0, have been worn down really in that first half. Saints getting control of it and making the most of it. 18-6, the champions lead. But Saints would therefore maintain their hope of finishing top for a record-extending 10th time in 26 seasons of Super League as the second half gets underway. A win would take Saints to 84.21%, and Catalan would drop to 85.71%, and Saints have Leeds at home and Salford away in their last 2 games, whereas the Catalan Dragons have Huddersfield at home and a final game in the regular season at Wigan. So Saints with an 18-6 lead. Catalan still, I think, down to 12 men. Cassiano still in the bin.
Well, there's 6 minutes or so for the big man to cool his heels. But St Helens, thoroughly professional first half for them. They kept the composure. They weren't phased when they went behind with that first Sam Tompkins try. But for the Catalan Dragons, they've got to improve the discipline. Steve McNamara, before the match, said his side have to enjoy this afternoon. They have to enjoy the experience and the challenge. I don't think they've enjoyed anything other than the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, he's still got a hint of a smile on his face as the Catalan Dragons coach. But whether he'll still have a smile on it by the end of the game, it's a different matter. It's just there's a slight sort of poignancy about this evening's game, because you think that if things had gone as planned, we would have been back here in October for the start of the Rugby League World Cup, wouldn't we? The first game of the competition would have been here on October the 23rd, with England playing Samoa. Sadly, that is not to be. And this is one of the highlights of what's left of the season. The grand final to come. Magic weekend, a big weekend. That ball from Nagama, though, sailing out to play.
Well, Saints offloading the ball, made the first mistake in the second half. Thought they were very good in the first half, the way they controlled the ball, the way they turned the ball over on their terms. And
there's another
Catalan
player
side, yeah.
Another player getting patched up.
It's Matt Whitley, the man who was on scholarship at Saints, left them, started his career at Widnes, then went to the south of France. And a real goodbye for Steve McNamara.
Matt Whitley getting patched up. It's an opportunity with this halt in play to go down to the sideline. I get the halftime news from Jenna.
Yeah, Bill, Steve McNamara said that position is key against St Helens, and his side owned it for the first 15 minutes, but then Saints wrestled it off them. He did admit that they've got some work to do with and without the ball, but he's confident that they'll fight their way back into this game. Christian Wolf's simple message: he wasn't happy with the start, he called it slow, but he's certainly happy with how his side responded and how they got themselves back into this game.
Matt Whitley is patched up, and we're ready to go. Has been a stop-start element to this contest, with players getting patched up. Catalan need a good start to this second half, though. Trailing at the resumption, just a couple of minutes gone. Here is McMeekin. Had a big opportunity to strike back for the Catalan Dragons in that first half. One of the chances that went begging. Here is Tompkins, who took his. Sam Tompkins. Eventually Batchelor gets a hold of him. Sorry, Terry.
He's got to be on the ball, hasn't he, Sam Tompkins? We saw what he did on the opening 3 minutes when he's posted the only try for Catalan.
His brother Joel now. They're inside that Saints 10, and here is Dudson, and Dudson, surprised to get that pass from McAlorum, is over the line. Referee Liam Moore having a good look there. But Dudson tried to make the most of it.
Well, the big man was trying, wasn't he? 6'4", 18.5 stone. Gil Dudson, he gets through Batchelor, gets rid of Lachlan Coote, but Wellesby does enough underneath.
He doesn't get rid of Lachlan Coote. Lachlan Coote saves that ball. St Helens end up gathering it, but my word, he's been impressive in attack and defence, Lachlan Coote.
Well, Saints dealing well with the kick there to diffuse the danger. And now they'll look to bring the ball away.
They're a side that can deal with pressure, and they have done for a number of years. Even from the back in the days when our studio guest Paul Sculthorpe played for them. Everyone turns up with the right attitude. They know they've got to be on form to beat Christian Wolf's men.
Christian Wolf having his first taste of the Magic experience back here at St James's Park. And his side in possession, launching the ball downfield to Sam Tompkins, who sets Tom Davis away. His 100th career appearance, the former Wigan wingman Tom Davis. Arthur Morg is out there looking to bring some of his spontaneity to this Catalan side, but Saints, they know what this fella can do. They'll surely be keeping an eye on him. He's Langy and Catalan really static.
Meters, can they, Bill? It was an aspect of the first half that I thought cost them dearly, the Catalan Dragons. You can see it's a good offload that gets Matt Whitley some space on the outside. That's possibly how they need to try and get some meters and get some momentum.
Whitley doing well from Morg's pass. Now here's Tompkins. Here's Dean Farey out the back of the hands to Tom Davis, and Davis comes back infield. 14 tries to his name in all games this season. Tom Davis, he is an attacking weapon for the Catalan Dragons. The kick is hoisted by Coote, and Coote claims it.
How good is he at the back? So brave to take that ball. Numbers in front of him. And Farah looking for to try and force the error.
Roby's in trouble at just at the top of your shot there. There he is. The old stager, James Roby, who signed on for another season. He was in the first ever Magic game.
Another one. Is that 46 consecutive seasons now for James Roby? I think he catches an elbow from Davis, or maybe Matautia. A bit of friendly fire.
Yeah, Sione Matautia clocks him. Roby's just getting patched up. He was in he was the Saints sub, one of the Saints subs at the first Magic in Cardiff in 2007 was James Roby against Wigan. Well, there's more news from the sidelines from both camps. Here's Jenna again.
Yeah, St Helens second rower James Bentley is currently being assessed for a back injury. And Fuad Yaha of the Catalan Dragons, the winger, he has a tight hamstring. It's currently being iced, but I'm told it's doubtful that he'll return.
So Catalan having to adjust to Fuad Yaha's absence. And play resumes. Percival in possession. It's hushed here. The crowd's not really able to get into the game because of the stop-start nature of proceedings. We've had Roby down. We've had Matt Whitley down as well. We've only had 6 minutes of the second half, and Coote drills the kick downfield, and Tompkins made that look so easy as he ran across to claim it, and then Davis runs into Ignatius Passy.
There's still going to be some magical moments in this game, though, for the crowd to erupt. Oof, Morg with that high tackle, that's high ball, really,
and he's
difficult to take for Samisoni Langi.
They're still trying to keep it alive. The referee says,
well, Morg with that poor pass to Langi finds himself going towards the sideline, tries to offload it, but it goes into the hands of Batchelor.
The referee says Batchelor was tackled, and Saints play the ball. So Saints have possession. Catalan, they've had one good spell in the game. That was about for 5 minutes right at the start. They trail 18 points to 6. The game's not beyond them, but they are going to have to find some spark from somewhere. Lewis Dodd. Oh, Wellesby's pass gets Matautia away. Matautia looking for a second and gets it. Sione Matautia with a flying leap at the finish to give Saints another try, extend their lead over the Catalan Dragons, and in all probability close the gap at the top of the table. Saints aren't done yet.
They get the first points of the second half, St Helens. All came from a turnover. A possession, urgency in defence. Batchelor gets down and secures the ball. And Bill, you talked about it being a bit quiet, a bit eerie. St Helens and the fans that are behind the sticks are just getting themselves ready for the big chant and the big cry of when the Saints come marching in. And everybody who doubted that this side was not a champion side and we're going to hand over that league leader shield, and I'm looking in the mirror, should give their heads a wobble. This is a tremendous side that deal with pressure and step forward on the big occasion.
He's outdone brother Peter this afternoon. Has Sione Matautia. Peter Matautia got the one try in the Castleford Tigers' victory over Salford. He did get player of the match, and Coote has converted, and Saints now have a strong grip on this game. 24 points to 6 they lead.
We've already covered a lot of distance. Matautia in this game is a phenomenal player. He scores that try on the back of some fabulous work from Jack Wellesby. When he goes at the line and gets James Maloney interested, he pumps the ball once, holds on to it, then pumps it again. But on the second occasion, he gives it to the back rower. And that's enough, and that scoreboard just ticking over nicely in Saints' favour.
Well, Catalan, of course, conceded that try with only 12 players on the field. Sam Cassiano, who had been sin-binned, is back out there now, but the damage is done. And there's been little sign of Catalan having the nous or the wherewithal to disrupt Saints, to unsettle Saints in this second half. Still a long way to go.
Well, Saints dismantle sides by running hard. Like we said in the first half, the end sets well, they get to the kick, they ask questions constantly. The forwards know what their role is. It's to lay that platform. Christian Wolf's side have been outstanding the last couple of years defensively, but offensively as well. They're right on point.
Tompkins is ever well positioned to claim that kick from Coote, but looking to ignite the side from the back. Tompkins runs into some strong defence. Joe Batchelor in there. What a season he has had. Really come through the ranks this season as Joe Batchelor. 26 years of age, and he's been in the side for the last 16 games. In the tackle there. Here is Dudson now. Another seasoned campaigner, Gil Dudson, on his 8th club. Sam Cassiano flings that pass to Maloney, who then connects with McMeekin. McMeekin tackled about 30 metres away from the Saints line. So Maloney hoists the kick. Coote is underneath it. Cassiano was thundering towards him there, and Coote kept his calm.
I bet his life flashed before his eyes then. Sam Cassiano chasing hard, trying to make it as difficult as possible, but he hasn't put a foot wrong all day, has it, Lachlan Coote? And then Joel Tompkins and Catalan Dragons, they give a penalty where they're not able to get back on side, not able to not fall foul of the referee. Look at Sam Cassiano, eyes on the ball. He's only looking at the ball, but he doesn't do enough to put that player off.
Coote, of course, leaving the club. News this week of another big Saints signing for next season, Curtis Sirenen, coming from Manly. They've got Will Hopewati lined up as well, have the Saints. But they're also putting a lot of faith in these great young players that they've got. The likes of Lewis Dodd there. They're all putting faith also in the older players like James Roby.
Well, that's it. It's so easy for those young players.
The little kick. And it's Samisoni Langi who comes back to gather the ball for the Catalan Dragons. Well, Joel Tompkins in trouble.
Yeah, injured. Picked up a bit of a knock just near halfway.
It was when he went into the tackle. He came out of it holding his head. And here you go. He comes in late, third man, goes low down. I don't know whether he catches one of his own players. Gets his neck or shoulder awkwardly landing.
Michael McAlorum he makes contact with.
Yeah. Just haven't been at the races, Catalan, today. There's just less than half an hour to go, and Steve McNamara's team are getting a very harsh lesson here in how to deliver on that big stage. 24-6, that scoreboard says. But like you said, Bill, apart from the first 5 or 10 minutes, Catalan Dragons have always had to work extra hard to get anywhere near.
We expected a tough game, physical game. There's been a lot of stoppages, haven't there?
Well, this is another one. A lot of head knocks. Still one more game to come. Leeds Rhinos against Hull FC. The Rhino supporters in the ground, and Steve McNamara's son Ben on the bench for Hull FC for that game. 7:15 arena for that one. The supporters watching while Joel Tompkins still gets attention, and Steve McNamara pensive. He's lost Fuad Yaha for the rest of the game by the sound of things. There he is, Julian Bousquet alongside him. Two French internationals. Busquets been patched up as well. You can just see the blood on the bandage there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like either of those two are getting ready to go back on, does it? I'm sure I've seen Gudemond on the sideline looking like he might replace Tompkins if he does need to come off.
They're still checking out Joel Tompkins. He's going to obviously be taken from the field.
Yeah, just making sure that he's steady on his feet before he heads toward the sideline under the guidance of the club doctor.
And it is Gudemond that will replace him.
That breaking play won't help Catalan as well. They're trapped near their own line. Gudemond will come on, try and give some impact in centre field against a real dominant Saints side.
Well, they're getting to the point in the game now where they have to try something different, don't they? The unstructured. Oh, look at that!
I told you it didn't just play into their hands, did it? Kyle that's Cassiano in his sights.
And Saints will not allow the Dragons.
It hasn't worked all day, Bill. I can't see why it's going to work from a slow play the ball.
Yeah, Catalan trying to find a way through, trying to send the big guns out ahead, but Dudson, Cassiano can't really make an impact in this Saints defence, and Coote gathers the ball.
The Saints trying to target the ball carrier. They certainly aimed up, got off the line, and Catalan trying to do the same here. Now through Drinkwater and Cassiano.
Here is Mark Percival. The Saints supporters have found their voice, celebrating the fact that their side seems to be on course for a significant victory over the top of the table side, the Catalan Dragons, but they're not home and dry yet. Fifth tackle as Matty Lees goes to ground, and the ball back with Coote, who targets Tom Davis, and Tom Davis gets away from the first challengers, is then brought down about 15 yards away from his own try line.
Well, they go to the early kick it to Tom Davis, and then they look at closing him down along with Farah, the line speed from Saints. This is where they build pressure. Talk about building pressure when you've got the ball, but Saints build pressure in defence as well.
Lange plays the ball. Here is Gudemond. Started this game, his 6th start in a row. And now the crackerjack for the French side, Arthur Morgue, makes a bit of progress, but that's the 5th tackle. And Maloney on to Tompkins, Tompkins to McMeekin. McMeekin screaming for the kick ahead. Davis, the ball back on the inside. It comes off a Saints body.
When McMeekin had that ball and he was looking for the players to drop underneath him, just look at the gap open up here. It's an early ball from Tompkins. Farah cuts underneath, and there could have been some joy. They were just going towards that sideline, which made it easy for those Saints defenders to get Tom Davis.
Sorry, Tez, look at the bodies in the frame there. St Helens, although they do get the final touch, the referee says that they didn't play at that, so they'll get possession back. And that's probably the most expansive Catalan have been. It's the furthest they've been downfield in quite a while. But even then, Saints have all the answers.
Well, now Catalan will try and compress Saints, try and restrict their progress. Makinson appealing. Here is Kyle Amor, runs into McLaurin, Whitley and Gil Dudson. 3 tackles gone, just over their own 20, as Ignatius Passy delivers the pass. And doesn't do Matty Lees any favours with it. Here is Passy once more. That's the 5th tackle. Oh no, he manages to offload to Welsby, and Welsby loops the ball out to Nagama, and Nagama will give it on to Makinson, and Makinson will put his foot down, and Makinson is brought down, or is he? He's not tackled, he's still going, and Makinson, has he got his second? No, he hasn't. I think the referee says it's a double movement.
Good call, double movement. Wonderful play from St Helens. A lovely offload, and as he's going to score this try, he's tackled there by Drinkwater. Sam Tompkins with hands on him, still touching, and then that second double movement is where the penalty is given. But great stuff, wasn't it? A good decision by Jack Welsby to fling that pass. Look at him, step, long ball, and it's a 2v1 situation, and you think for all money Makinson is going to go in, but Samason Alangi and Sam Tompkins do just about enough.
You can't switch off whenever Saints have got the ball and the tackle's not complete. Passy offloads the ball. There's 3 men in attendance. Saints on the back of that then, when they're not back and set. They swing the ball out to that man. You look at the meters. Again, the max speed has got nearly 20 miles per hour he's hitting. Really difficult to stop, and they're powerful meters that he's making as well.
And just to get it in context, it's not just about the distance that these players are running. It's like running that distance and then dropping down every 20 metres, doing a down and up, which is the extra effort that rugby league players go through, and getting up and running another 20 metres, doing a down and up, and doing that for 80 minutes, as intense as you can.
Another bandaging job for the Catalan physios, patching up Maloney this time. It's about the 5th, I think, they've done. The penalty, meanwhile, gets Catalan off the hook. They were dangerously close to conceding more points there. A second try it would have been for Tommy Makinson. Just managed to deny him. Have they got anything left, the Catalan Dragons? Can they disturb the control that St Helens have had over this side, over this game?
Well, they've got 24 minutes to prove it in this game, haven't they? The last 3 games that they've played, they've scored a total of 137 points, Catalan. So they do know how to get over the try line. It's just if they can against this Saints side.
Here's Mike McMeekin now. Dean Faré. Maloney, short ball, finds Cassiano. Cassiano, lovely offload. Drinkwater gets the pass away. Busquet! Julien Busquet! All the way! And Julien Busquet has breathed life into this Catalan Dragons effort with his 2nd try of the season. And the Catalan pack putting their hand up there and contributing to that try, with Busquet scoring it. Kick to come under the posts.
Well, he's a Route 1 player, Julien Busquet. Good offload from Sam Cassiano. Josh Drinkwater finds the prop forward, who comes back, heads towards the sticks. But that offload from Sam Cassiano, if they can get that second phase rugby, that unstructured play that we've seen over the years since they've been in Super League, going back to 2006, they are a dangerous side, and Steve McNamara knows that this try has got them back into the game.
That's it for me. They've got to do something different. Up until that offload, the Catalan Dragons had only offloaded the ball 6 times, which is 1 less than the St Helens team. But that, with a bit of purpose, putting themselves in the frame, has given them a reward of 4, maybe 6 points.
Maloney, the top goal kicker in the competition this season, contributes 2 more, 24-12. Coming up to the final quarter of the contest.
Well, Sam Cassiano, he gets that big arm free, doesn't it? And Julien Busquet, well, we've talked about the defence of Lachlan Coote and how big and strong he's been, but he was never going to win that battle.
There's the top 5 in terms of intensity in this match, and Morgan Knowles leading the way ahead of Arthur Morg. He hasn't been on the field for that long, but he's obviously made an impact. Gudemon plays the ball. Here is Cassiano once more, and he sets Welsby on his back.
That's intensity in that run from Sam Cassiano. That's better what Steve McNamara's after.
There's a bit of a spring in the Dragon's step here, and Whitley is on a run.
Well, two big carries there for Catalan. Look at him, picks out Jack Welsby, goes straight over the top of him.
Here is Morg. They really have got to keep an eye on Artur Morg. We saw what he can do against a tiring defence in the victory over Leeds. The ball bouncing, and then Makinson has to take it standing still and sidling his way towards the Saints line. That's the fifth tackle. Maloney lofts the kick towards Coote, and the fullback again, rock solid. Claims that ball comfortably. Percival.
Well, they certainly seem to have stepped up here. Bachelor did a decent job of escorting Sam Tompkins off the ball, then couldn't get a clean shot and a clean challenge with Lachlan Coote for that ball.
Here's Regan Grace now.
There certainly is a spring in the step, though, like you said, Bill.
Ooh. McIlorum just getting a hold of the ankles of Bachelor there. Makinson. Whitley down low. Busquet landing on top. So Coote kicks down deep. Tompkins gathers and sends Davis away. Magic Weekend continues tomorrow from 12:55 on Sky Sports Arena. Another 3 games coming up on day 2 from St James's Park. If you're coming to Newcastle tomorrow, bring layers. That's my advice. 1 or 2 of us haven't. The referee says play on to Michael Gudemon. 6 to go. There was a Saints hand in there.
Jack Welsby stripped it but lost the ball forward. So they get the ball back. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow, Bill. Hopefully. There it is. You can see it's a one-on-one. Strips the ball but loses it forward. Goes into the hands of Drinkwater.
Here is Maloney. Catalan having a good spell of possession here. And here is Cassiano. And Cassiano deciding...
That's working for them, isn't it? On the back of Sam Cassiano. Desperate for a penalty.
Here's Drinkwater to Samisoni Langi. Here's Artur Morg playing on the wing. Oh, a Magnatius Passy coming back, does well there. Bats the ball down, and Welsby will counter.
They tried to get the ball back inside, and it's Jack Welsby who gets a hand to it. Catalan Dragons' burst of energy. They need to keep that energy and keep that enthusiasm when it's come time to defend. He offloads the ball back inside Artur Morg, and it's Passy actually gets the first hand to the ball, but it's picked up by Welsby.
Here is Mark Percival, and Percival has lost possession, and it's a penalty. Catalan desperate to try and liberate that ball.
And giving away this penalty will disappoint the coach, Steve McNamara.
Drinkwater protesting his innocence there, but Liam Moore spotted the move. Steve McNamara knows that they've really got to maintain possession. If they're going to get back into this game, they can't afford to allow Saints to get any more points on the board. Here is Alex Walmsley. And Walmsley plays the ball about 30 metres away from that Catalan Dragons line. Edging their way forwards. Knowles plays the ball, and here is Welsby now. Welsby shifts it onto Coote. Coote to Nagama. Nagama gets away from Moore and cuts in field. Now they're only about 8 metres away. Joel Tompkins failing his head injury assessment apparently, won't be back. Roby puts a little kick in, and it's gathered by the Dragons. It's Morg, I think, underneath that pile of bodies.
Well, James Roby saw that there was nothing on because there was numbers in front of him apart from the kick. He tried to get it through the defensive line, but young Morg, he's the man who's aware of that threat and that danger. Always asking questions, isn't he, the old stager?
His 18th season, he's going around again next year, James Roby. There he is, once more involved in the tackle, down low for the side.
He's just so important, isn't he, for Saints? He's leading the tackle count as well with 37.
Maloney tackled on the last, and it's Drinkwater putting the kick in, but it's straight into the arms of Coote, just inside his own 30, and then Coote gives it to Regan Grace, and Grace looking to exploit some tiring Catalan defenders, couldn't get away from Dean Fare and Mike McMeekin there. Roby, though, gives it to Percival.
Well, this cycle where it's going set for set, kick for kick, it's uncomfortable for most rugby league teams. But it's comfortable, it's where they live, St Helens. They enjoy being in the tumble dryer as they are at the minute.
It's Matautia playing the ball. Here is Walmsley. He's seen Julian Bousquet go on the rampage, and you fancy that Alexander the Great has got the potential to do that as well for Saints. Here is Ngama, though. Ngama gets away from Morg, but Morg does well, comes back for a second attempt. Fifth tackle, and Coote gets the ball to Welsby, and Welsby drills a kick, a teasing kick, and Tompkins almost misjudged that.
Oh, wow.
Almost misjudged it.
He was close then, wasn't he? Welsby kicks the ball, he chases hard, he tries to get it back in the field of play. Oof.
We always have memories of the grand final last year at Hull, coming back when Jack Welsby's in that situation, chasing what seemed to be a lost cause.
Well, if the angle was a little bit better, the centre, Mark Percival, was pointed to some space he thought he could see, but he almost got to that ball. It was only the cool, calm, collected Sam Tompkins.
Here is Sam Tompkins, and here is Samisoni Lange, and Lange puts his foot down, but it's Welsby making the tackle. He's been everywhere.
I was just about to say that. He's absolutely everywhere, defence and attack.
Outstanding performance from the 20-year-old Jack Welsby. Here is Drinkwater, puts a little kick. He's there again. Goalkeeper.
Is there more than one of them? Is there two Welsbys on the field?
He's got a whack there as Jack Welsby, as he gathered that ball.
Well, it comes off his fight, he collects it, and then he also cops one from Desiree. So trying to kick that ball for Whitley and Julian Bousquet. And there you go, look at those metres, the distance that he's covered in this game. Phenomenal effort from him. Like I said before, he leads the list for metres made in a game, and that, I think that was in round 2 against Hull KR. Just below 10,000 metres he made, and he's well on course for that.
We began the game talking about all the different matchups. We talked about the experience of Maloney and Josh Drinkwater against the youth and energy of Lewis Dodd and Jack Welsby. Well, it's been the Saints halfback, the new, the young, that have turned up and outplayed their opponents.
Well, we said that on Monday, didn't we, about Gareth Widdop against Stephen Ratchford as well.
George Williams.
And George Williams, sorry. But again, what I'm drawn to when you look at Saints is all those senior players that help the young players whenever they come into the side. And like you said before, Wingfield onto the field as well for Saints.
Morgan Knowles, meanwhile, playing the ball, and that ball has been charged down, but it's come up for Percival. Now it's come up for McMeekin, and the referee is going to say what?
I think the first knock-on from Saints. Was it Mark Percival that makes the first knock-on?
Okay, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
Was it? Or no, the referee.
Well, it's a charge down here, isn't it? So that's not a knock-on. He doesn't know where the ball is. Mike McMeekin doesn't get it on first attempt.
Is it McMeekin's hand that dislodges it from Percival?
The ball, mate. Sorry, the ball.
Knocks it on.
The ball.
Good spot. I think it's Jack Smith on this side with the flag.
Well, to be fair, if Mike McMeekin, if that's the player that he's picked him up at, Mike McMeekin was facing his own try line.
Did the ball go forward? That's the decision of the referee. Liam Moore. He knows what he's talking about. Coote, lovely ball for Percival, and Percival is away. Mark Percival is away. Percival has got some support. He couldn't get the ball to him. Dodd was on his shoulder. Percival couldn't get the pass to him. But Saints with Dodd, and Dodd hounded by Tompkins gets the pass to Coote. Coote then on to Matautia. 2 tries to his name already, Sione Matautia in this game. Percival is struggling after that run. Meanwhile, it's Dodd. Dodd gets the pass to Wormsley. Wormsley tackled, but about 15 metres out. Set restart. Hooter, and a big opportunity for St Helens to maybe put this game to bed. Wingfield plays the ball. Driven in towards those posts by Knowles, and Knowles is still on his feet and spinning, and Knowles has got the try under the posts. Kick to come to settle the issue surely in favour of St Helens now. He would not be defeated, Morgan Knowles. He just kept trying. Catalan cannot believe. Morgan Knowles, though, has got his second of the season.
Well, Mark Percival comes up with a big run over on the left-hand side. He's trying and looking to offload the ball to Lewis Dodd. He couldn't do that. He soaks it up. And then Morgan Knowles, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Look at that, 5 players can't bring the young Cumbrian down. His fight, his urgency, his effort. He's near the try line. Sam Tompkins comes in, lends some weight, and just nudges him over the try line. Look at this, leg speed. That willingness to keep on going, spin out of the tackle and get the ball down. Big players stand up in big games, and Morgan Knowles is a big player for Saints.
He made the dream team in 2019, 2020, and his contribution to this, what surely looks like a Saints victory now, is there to see. Lachlan Coote's contribution is 4 from 5 with the boots, and that's another 2 points for Lachlan Coote, and St Helens are going to close the gap at the top of the Super League table.
Well, with all the numbers and all the GPS tracking stats that we're quoting, it's just a shame that we don't have something that can track and can gauge aggression. Everything that Morgan Knowles does is done with aggression, and the fans absolutely love his involvements, whether it's in attack and defence, and the influence he has on his side. As you say, Tez, 5 players were unable to hold him and pull him back and prevent him from scoring that try.
Catalan go for the short restart, 10 minutes under it to go. Makinson it is, though, gets highest for the Saints, who are going to cut the leads that Catalan have at the top of the table, the percentage leads, and send this title, this league leaders title race, right to the end of the season by the look of things. Just to reiterate, St Helens have got Leeds at home and Salford away to come in their final 2 games. Catalan Dragons next up at home to the Huddersfield Giants, and they conclude their regular season with a trip to Wigan. Here's Jordan Desiree. Steve McNamara, Ben Garcia. They've missed Benjamin Garcia these last few weeks of the Catalan Dragons. Captain of the side this season, Ben Garcia, but has been out injured.
And Bill, it's 2011 since Catalan have gone to Wigan and got a result, so a big hill for them to climb now.
Just imagine if it comes to that. Saints hoping that the title rests on Wigan beating the Catalan Dragons. But Catalan maybe hoping for a final word in this game. Here is Maloney. Maloney confronted by the Saints defenders. Wormsley leading the way. Here's Moore, gets the pass to Drinkwater. Jordan Desiree now. Played quite a long time with the Leeds Centurions when he was not able to get into the Catalan side. Desiree, he's Down now, he's got a whack on the back of the head.
Well, he's reversing into contact. I'm not sure about that one. Jake Wingfield is completing the tackle.
For me, he doesn't add any pressure.
No, I don't think
he doesn't add any pressure. And there's area that obviously he feels that there's an issue with it, but Wingfield is trying to protect as he's backing in and going down on the ground.
Sam Cassiano, of course, sin-binned in the first half for a similar sort of incident. Tom Davis has shown the fastest sprint today, so that's one honour that has gone to the Catalan Dragons. 20.13 miles per hour from the former Wigan winger Tom Davis. Hasn't had an opportunity though to increase his try tally this season on his 100th career appearance. Desiree is back on his feet, will play the ball. Catalan hoping to at least make a point in the last few minutes of this game. As Drinkwater kicks across field, McMeekin is there to challenge for it. The ball bounces up and it could be another try for Tompkins. He can't ground it.
A good defence from Saints. And Lewis Dodd comes in, prevents Sam Tompkins from getting this ball over the line. You can see the extra effort over the top.
Here is Busquets, try scorer in this second half. A try that gave the Catalan Dragons a glimmer of hope, but they weren't able to capitalise. Archie Morg almost catching the Saints defence cold there, but Roby's been around long enough to know the tricks of the trade. The ball looped over the top into the hands of Davis. Davis swats aside the first tackles, is then brought down by Matautia. And Saints with one of the meanest defences in the competition, looking to deny the Catalan Dragons any more points here this evening. Leads against Hull still to come. The ball with Dean Fare, and Fare is short of the line, couldn't reach the line. And a good tackle just in the corner denies Dean Fare.
Well, leading by 18 points with 7 minutes to go, that's what it means to Saints. That's how proud they are of how they defend their try line. Tommy Makinson, great effort.
Here's Regan Grace now on his own 40-metre line. Leads against Hull FC then, coming next on Sky Sports Arena. Concludes day one of the Dacia Magic Weekend back here in Newcastle upon Tyne, and it is great to be back here in this fantastic city. But it's not just that, it's to see the faces again, people you'd never got to see last year, and catching up with people. And Walmsley does well to get that pass away. Eventually it's Drinkwater who picks it up, and here is Dean Fare now.
Well, they're trying, aren't they? They're trying to find something, and Lachlan Coote puts himself where the action is. He just can't gather that ball. It's a little bit too low. Supporting the big man, left arm offload, it's just a bit too low around those knees. And the coach, Christian Wolff, will allow his side to express themselves, maybe make a mistake or two. They've earned that right. Look at that scoreboard, 30 points to 12.
Morg's pass. Maloney. Drinkwater's ball is not a good one, and it puts Whitley under pressure, but Whitley thought he'd seen the last of Grace, and Grace came back. Set restart, Hooter, says the referee. So that's an opportunity for the Catalan Dragons in the last 5 minutes of this game. And can the Catalan Dragons bounce back from this? They will still lead the table after this defeat, but can they still go on, cling on to that leadership and take the title for the first time in their history, of course? Here is Drinkwater. Gil Dudson. It's going to be a really interesting last couple of weeks Coote gets the pass away, and Fare this time will get the try for the Catalan Dragons. Some defiance from the Dracs in the last few minutes of this game, and Dean Fare, the former Kiwi international, gets his 4th try of the season.
Well, it's a little bit too little, too late. Coote is one-on-one with Jack Welsby, goes over the top of him, finds an offload, and it fools Tommy Makinson in the centre. Well, he just supports Coote. There's not been enough of that for me from Catalan. Not been enough expression, not caused any problems, not asked any questions. And they've got time to lick the wounds before the big games come at the end of the year.
Dean Fare's first try since May, when he was a scorer against St Helens in the 20-16 victory. One of the few victories that Saints have suffered this season, one of the 3 victories they've suffered. Maloney has kicked that, 30-18. No celebration really on the face of Dean Fare.
Well, Fare scores here, and they look back and they review this game. There's chances that they've missed against a very dominant St Helens outfit defensively. They've been very hard to break down. Fare found a way to get over the try line with just over 3 minutes to go on the scoreboard in this big encounter.
They have, in terms of try scoring, been level pegging with Saints in the second half. It's 2 tries apiece in the second half. Damage done, really. The second quarter of the game, 18-6 it was at the interval. 2 tries in that second quarter. Coote and Matautia. And Saints have never really looked like letting their grip slip here this evening. The mark of champions. The sort of thing that Catalan aspire to. Well, long way to go yet in terms of who gets to the grand final, and these 2 will be in pole position. As far as that schedule goes, playoffs coming up. Here is Tompkins, who started it all with that magnificent try. Lange now, but Welsby is back there to bring him down, assisted by Coote. Tompkins, Maloney. Morg does well. Morg does so well. Archie Morg does really well. And then just tap tackle, gives it to Dudson, and Gil Dudson it is. Gets over the line. Coming up to 2 minutes to go, 30-22. Suddenly kick to come. Hold on a minute. Don't write off the Dragons.
Well, he is a serious talent, isn't he? Morg. He can ride a couple of tackles. You think you've got him, and all of a sudden he offloads the ball to Gil Dudson 10 metres out, and he can't believe his luck. 2 tries in the last 2 minutes. This is how dangerous Catalan can be. Saints will be disappointed to concede these 2 tries the back end of the game when the job was done, and Catalan can take something from it.
Maloney, there's Dudson going over for the try, courtesy of that break from Morg. Maloney, meanwhile, just kicked the conversion to make it 30-24. 90 seconds to go. Gil Dudson's 2nd try of the season. Catalan are the first team to score 4 tries in a game in Super League against St Helens in 2021. That is a feather in their cap.
What do you think is going to be this last set of 6 is going to be like from Catalan? Keep it alive, offload. Let's take our chances, boys. We've got nothing to lose here. Barry said before that when you look at Catalan, when they play that dangerous brand, that unstructured play, Steve McNamara knows his side have got to come up with it.
It's one of those crumbs of comfort that isn't really a crumb, because Catalan have won the second half, 3 tries to 2. Busquet, Fare, Dudson. Maloney has goaled them all. Right, deep kick in the arms of Tompkins, and then Gil Dudson, whose try is just quietened the Saints supporters away to our left. Tompkins, Samisoni Lange.
Right, there's your couple of settlers. Let's open it up now, lads.
It's with Cassiano.
I wonder whether we're going to see a chip and chase.
That's surely the only option, isn't it? It's Drinkwater. No, Drinkwater onto Tompkins. Tompkins to Lange.
He's been strong, hasn't he? Samisoni Lange.
They've got to come up with something in these closing few seconds. 4 tackles gone. It's Drinkwater. Drinkwater to Maloney. Maloney ships the ball out wide to Whitley. Whitley cuts infield and runs into Saints defenders. 5th tackle. Coote drops back. The kick is hoisted. And it's won into a morass of players, and the ball comes down, and it comes down for Saints, says the referee.
Well, is that his first mistake in this game at the back? Wow, he was under some pressure at the back, Lachlan Coote.
The clock is still running. It's now the referee has stopped it.
11 seconds.
11 seconds to go. Catalan have the ball.
That's his first mistake, but look what he had to deal with. That melee of players.
It's now or never. It's now or never. Tompkins, Samisoni Lange. Lange stopped just short. Last seconds, last play of the game. Tompkins away. Drinkwater kicks crossfield. Makinson is chasing. The ball is loose. The ball is down. Cassiano has got the ball down. Kick to come. Video ref decision to come. Referee says it's a try.
Offside from the kick into the contest, please, James.
Grounding is what he wants to check.
Wow, what a finish.
We wrote him off 7 minutes ago.
What's going on?
We never thought that he could get 3 tries in the final 7 minutes. Sam Cassiano, well, he might not be the quickest player on the field, but he times this to perfection. He's just waiting for this ball to come into his arms, get over the try line.
Oh, he's got it, Tez. He's got it.
There is no doubt. Sam Cassiano has got that ball, and his big hands. He's got that ball down. Look at the reaction from the Saints players. James Child is the video ref. The try is awarded in the final seconds of the game. 30 points to 28. The kick to come from James Maloney to take us to golden points for the first time ever at a Magic weekend. What a finish here. Who would have thought, as Barry said 7 minutes ago, Catalan were dead and buried.
Well, a kick and hope from Drinkwater. There are enough players in the screen to make it uncomfortable for St Helens under the high kick, high bomb. Oh, wow. Sam Cassiano.
We expected a high-quality game, didn't we? High-quality finish. Steve McNamara, he can't believe it. He cannot believe what he's just witnessed.
Well, hold on a minute, because this guy needs to keep his nerve. 35-year-old James Maloney does just that to level the scores. Bernard Gouache, a proud chairman and owner of the club, at the way his side have come roaring back to dumbfound the Saints and take us to golden points. Maloney getting the drop goal that settled that. He is surely the threat.
Look, Saints still there, but what a finish this could be to the game. What a way to win the League Leaders' Shield. The contest, it might have been stop-start, but it's certainly full on now.
Look at the determination on the face of Samisoni Lange.
There's some ferocity. Just when you think rugby league is going to a pattern and you think you can predict.
Makinson stumbling into the tackle. Passy gets a hold of him. 4 tackles gone. Morg onto Drinkwater. Drinkwater, Tompkins, Lange on the charge. Lange bundles into the challenge of Makinson. On the last. Will Maloney go for this? No, he's going to run it. Oh, and it comes unstuck, and Saints will get it back. And that's not the end to that set that Catalan were hoping for. Maloney caught in no man's land.
That's an all-or-nothing play for me. On the last tackle, turnover possession. Saints now, I'm sure, will just roll forward, go for a drop goal.
Absolutely. Why were they on a sideline? Catalan Dragons, why wasn't the mindset finish in the middle and get Drinkwater left foot and Maloney right foot?
Well, here is Wormsley driving the Saints forward towards the halfway line, over the halfway line, towards those Saints supporters who thought they were home and dry about 10 minutes ago, and now their side is involved in a nail-biting finale here, and Dodd running across the line, thought he'd been pinged by the referee there for obstruction. Referee says play on. Here's Welsby. Welsby is tackled by Gudemond and Fare. 4 tackles gone into the middle of the field with Kyle Amor. Amor offloads and Coote has knocked it on. Coote has knocked it on, and Catalan will get it back.
Oh, the offload from Amor under pressure. He has Lachlan Coote, and I'm almost certain that Lachlan Coote didn't want the offload because he wanted to step back and get ready for the drop goal. Look at the chairman's reaction, and look at the Catalan players too.
Anguish from Eamon McManus, and now Catalan have possession back. It's with Tom Davis. Davis plays the ball. Opportunity now for the Dragons maybe to work their way forward. Steve McNamara urging his side on from the sidelines. The ball with Bousquet, try scorer in the second half. The ball being stolen from him by Batchelor. Batchelor has got it back for the Saints. Crucial intervention from Batchelor there. He has it back now. And can Saints capitalise?
Well, he thought he'd done everything well there, Bousquet. Unfortunately, lost the ball to Batchelor.
And Saints now have a big opportunity. Having got the ball back, they are inside the Catalan half. It's Wormsley now. Wormsley takes them a bit further forward. They're getting within range. They're getting within range now. Here's Kyle Amor. It's Makinson, I think, who is standing back. Makinson, whose drop goal hit the post in the grand final, and that one sails towards the sidelines. And he's back in the hands of Dean Fare now.
Well, it's not the best of drop goals, but it ends up in the right part of the field.
Here is Samuelson, and Ignatius Passy absolutely flattens him, and that's a penalty. And Lange is in trouble. I think Passy could be in trouble here.
Well, Lange, the last 4 or 5 occasions he's carted the ball forward. He's done it with as much intensity as he can muster at this stage of the game, and that's a wrecking ball meeting a brick wall.
He comes in straight away, doesn't he? Pass it to apologise to Samuelson Lange, who I think has been brilliant in this game. Every time they've shifted the ball over to the left-hand side, he's caused Saints some problems. He carts the ball away from the line, but he's met by Passy.
It's ironic, Ignatius Passy, I think, was the victim of a fairly comprehensive tackle on his debut by Paulie, which took him out of the game. And Samuelson Lange, it takes some takes some stopping, doesn't it, and some taking out the game.
Well, obviously, we're all wrapped up in the moment here and trying to get a winner and an outcome for both sides. We hope that Samuelson Lange is okay at the minute he's on the floor.
76 minutes of this game, St Helens were 30 points to 12 ahead.
Wow.
And from then, the roof fell in on the Saints. Fare, Dudson, Cassiano with the tries. Maloney goaled them all. 4 tries to 2 in the second half in favour of the Catalan Dragons.
Well, Steve McNamara's men can starve Saints of possession like they did, or like they have done in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game. It just shows how dangerous and what a brand of rugby he's got his side playing down in the south of France. He wants the big one at Old Trafford. And boy, have they got a competitive side this year.
Samuelson Lange being attended to by the Dragons medical team.
And it doesn't matter how long it takes now, just as long as he's okay. Well, Sam Cassiano, this is the try that gets them on level pegging with the kick to come. But an incredible finish And look at the frustration from Morgan Knowles when he goes over and grounds that ball. And the delight from the coaching staff and Julian Bousquet on the sideline.
I haven't seen a more dramatic kick and chase since Leeds Rhinos and Bradford Bulls and a certain Jordan Tansey tried.
What a finish that game was. Well, we've got one here as well.
And who was the Bradford coach?
Steve
McNamara.
Yeah.
Yes. There have been some thrilling games between these two games, and this is turning out to be another one. Unfortunately, Samisoni Langi needing lengthy attention and opportunity to go to the studio to rejoin Brian.
Thanks very much, Bill, Barry and Terry. Yes, all our thoughts are at the moment with Samisoni Langi. A horrendous collision with Ignatius Passy. We will park that politely to the side at the moment. All our concerns are with the injured player. I'd like to get your thoughts on how we find ourselves in this position. With St Helens, 5 minutes left on the clock, 18 points up against the Catalan Dragon side that looked like they had put the cue in the
Yeah, I'd love to understand it myself, Brian. To be honest, 18 points in 5 minutes is not what champions do. All credit to Catalan. You know, they've kept playing, they've asked questions. You know, they have been chasing the win. And Saints just, I don't know if it's game management, but they certainly shouldn't be leaking 3 tries in 5 minutes.
I think you've got to agree. Catalan's competitive spirit, which I think probably started with Sam Tompkins, seems to have radiated throughout most of the team here now, and the way they came back. But when you think really they had nothing to lose, so they are a dangerous side. The 3 tries we saw in quick succession, obviously they kept the ball wide, they knew they had to take chances, and this sort of footwork and pace, it's very difficult to compete against. Arthur Morg bounces back up off the ground and Gil Dutton goes over again from close range. The final try isn't a surprise to me because Josh Drinkwater's kicking game, attacking kicks, are the best in this competition, and he put it in the right place and just hope for the best.
Yeah, outstanding kick there from Drinkwater. You can't get any closer to the line than that, and Sam Cassiano, a great effort from a big prop to take that.
They're going through a range of emotions, the players here, as they've dragged themselves back into this game, but they also look across the field and see a stricken teammate of theirs, which is sometimes hard to distance yourself from Paul, when it's one of your teammates and you look at him and he's not in a good way.
Yeah, and Catalan will be, you know, they'll be concerned for Samisoni Langi. I think he's been outstanding as well. He's had a top game. He's been real solid down that left edge, and you know, let's hope he's okay.
I think you asked Paul a question, and then obviously this injury is of great significance here. I mean, we're fortunate that the attention of so many medics here, not just the Catalan medical staff, but the St Helens and other clubs here, we've got tremendous care for him in this situation. And I mean, you would have to imagine maybe there might be even a red card here. I know that might be insignificant for Samisoni Langi at present, but in the context of the game, it's quite highly probable.
Yeah, it was a tackle involving Ignatius Passy that has left Samisoni Langi stricken on the ground. Of course, as soon as we have an update on the health of Samisoni Langi, we will bring it to you here on Sky Sports. Just a reminder, we are in Golden Point here in game 2 of day 1 of the Magic Round. Steve McNamara's Catalan Dragons have gone back from a 30 points to 12 deficit against the reigning champion St Helens to tie it up at 30 points apiece. Well, we've got 58 seconds left in the first period of Golden Point, and should there be no score, we will move into a second 5 minutes to try and separate these sides. But right at the moment, you would imagine the thoughts of everybody in the ground. Christian Wolf, the St Helens coach, of course Steve McNamara, the coach of the Catalan Dragons, and all the players on the field are with Samisoni Langi, who remains down and receiving the very best treatment available for him. Stretcher on the field, Phil, and we would imagine now they will be taking Samisoni Langi off. There's some of the best, most highly qualified sports doctors are in this country, in this stadium. Think of Professor Brooks, who's pitch side here.
Well, everybody involved in rugby from a medical standpoint now goes on a course to learn about the best on-field treatment, particularly for spinal injury, which may occur at times. So that's probably the main concern. Once they realise the player's breathing, then the spinal injury is something that they're taking the utmost care of. We saw that before with Joel Tompkins, where the game was stopped. He was taken care of and then safely left the field. And in most of the occasions, we're very fortunate that those sort of injuries, serious injuries, are rare in the sport.
And tough for coaches as well. They're like father figures, aren't they, Paul? I mean, they go through the gamut of emotions, and it'll be no different for Steve McNamara and Christian Wolf.
Yeah,
seeing one of their own on the ground.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they probably spend more time with these players than they do with their families, and it's the score. What happens in the next 10 minutes is insignificant in comparison to Samisoni Langi's health. So, just wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, there's for the amount of people that are in the stadium, there's a respectful hush around the ground, really, Phil, as people will hopefully get a chance to applaud Samisoni Langi off the field. But it is, again, there's a balance here, isn't there? The longer there's no movement,
referees and officials are experienced as well in these situations. They realise that if the player's okay, the game will continue, and the referee needs to think about what are the processes he needs to go through now, make the right decisions for when the game will recommence.
It's probably worth emphasising as well that thankfully the medical staff are ultra cautious.
Yes, they are, and there's nobody better out there. As soon as you see Professor Chris Brooks, we both dealt with him, Brian, haven't we, through England and Great Britain. He'll be making sure that there's no stone unturned. Talking about respect as well, I'm sure Samisoni Langi will get a clap off every single fan in this stadium. 12 teams represented, and that's the great thing with our game. Here we go.
It goes.
He's had an outstanding game. When you asked Paul before about how Catalan came back into the game, your memory goes on the runs that Samisoni Langi made on that left-hand side of the field. So often charging down there, they made metre after metre, and it got them out of trouble on a number of occasions. He was instrumental in this comeback for them.
Samisoni Langi taken from the field here at St James's Park to applause from fans of all clubs following that horrendous collision with Ignatius Passy. Jenna Brooks will chase up the condition of Samisoni Langi and bring it to us here on Sky Sports as soon as is possible. We wish him the very best. He's receiving the best medical attention available to him. Respectful round of applause. Dr. Stockton there and the St Helens medical staff escorting Samisoni Langi sadly on a stretcher from the field, and we can hope that is precautionary. Referee has binned Ignatius Passy for that collision. Now we are trying to find out firstly the significance of the injury. There's Bernard Gouache's reaction to the yellow card for Ignatius Passy.
He'll play no further part in the game anyway, really, with the time remaining. No,
he won't. Phil, we're going to go back to our commentary side. We've got 58 seconds left in the first period of Golden Point. 30 points apiece between the league leaders and the reigning champions. Back to you, Bill.
And back to the Catalan Dragons with a penalty that Maloney thumps downfield. And now then, the Catalan Dragons resume on the halfway line. We've had one drop goal attempt so far, just before that incident involving Samisoni Langi, and Tommy Makinson got it nearer the corner flag than the posts. And now the Catalan Dragons are edging their way forward. The side that was 30 points to 12 down and seemingly out of this contest, now within sight of taking the league leaders title if they can win this game. But it's forward, says the referee, as Cassiano took the ball from Artur Morg, and Saints will get it back. They were in such a good position.
Maloney was screaming for the ball out the back, and Morg, confused slightly. Well, he got it wrong, did he? He had all manner of things being said to him, and Alex Chan and Christian Wolf, well, you can tell which reaction is pleased and which one is frustrated.
Yeah, frustration for the Catalan Dragons, because a golden opportunity to settle Golden Point has just been missed, and Morg is protesting his innocence to Cassiano. That's the end of the first period of Golden Point extra time. Maloney consoles the young Frenchman, Artur Morg, 22 years of age, never experienced anything like this before, Artur Morg. The drama continues. Maloney just laying down the law to his teammates. An opportunity to rejoin Jenna Brooks. Let's get news of Samisoni Langi.
Yeah, for his family watching at home, and all fans of the game, I just like to say that he is awake and he is currently being assessed. That is the only information I've been given at the moment, but he is awake and being assessed.
Thank you, Jenna. All good wishes to Samisoni Langi from the rugby league community, I'm sure, after that incident. And of course, his teammates will know that the best way to pay their tribute to him is to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all locked. We've got 5 more minutes to settle it, and we've only had one draw in 2021 when Hull FC and Warrington couldn't be parted earlier on in the season.
For his bachelor, up to the 20-metre line for the Saints. And Roby now. Morgan Knowles, and Knowles flattens Maloney. Maloney back on his feet, but strong run from Knowles, and now here's Matautia. 2 tries to his name. 4 tackles gone, but he's driven back.
85 minutes, Morgan Knowles still comes up with an effort like that.
Roby, deep kick, looking for a 40-20, looking for a 40-20. Tompkins manages to get there. Tompkins manages to get there. Oh, my words.
This game has had absolutely everything.
Sam Tompkins.
And Nakama was hurtling up and could have picked up that loose ball. Roby is down and in trouble in back play.
I thought for a second Sam Tompkins was out of the field of play, but he batted it in.
Flung out wide.
This is crazy.
Wow.
Oh no! Oh no! What have the Catalan Dragons done there?
Well, they're finding a way to lose the game with that play. Steve McNamara.
I think Roby's in big trouble here. My word, there's been some casualties, haven't there? Maloney passes that ball.
It's Jordan Desiree out there.
What's he doing on the wing?
He's just having a breather out wide, isn't he?
Well, that could be curtains for the Catalan Dragons. After all their efforts, they're going to turn this ball over inside their own 20. And Catalan have got to throw everything at them. Roby is still getting treatment. Head knock signal goes to the sideline. Whoa, it has been a bruising battle out there between the top 2 in Super League, which still has not been decided, but could be very shortly.
Was it from that strong carry from Farah? Picks James Roby out. He has to leave the field. What a bruising encounter.
The ball is with Coote, and Coote. And now it's Matautia. Saints will bring it back towards the middle of the field. Who will they turn to for the 1 point?
Coote.
I reckon you're right there, Barry. Makinson couldn't hit the target. Here is Walmsley. Coote. Inside the 20 now. It's coming. Coote has stepped back. Coote has stepped back. Lachlan Coote to decide this one. Coote with the kick. He's missed it. Lachlan Coote pushes that one wide. And Catalan survive.
Wow. Eamon McManus, he thought it went over.
I've never seen so many Catalan fans in all my life.
They've never had this attendance at a game in this country, have they, Terry? Well, the noise will be amazing if the Catalan Dragons can get their way upfield now and engineer an attempt at a one-pointer. Here is Cassiano. Cassiano legs driving over the halfway line. Maloney to Jordan Desiree. This time the pass connects. Catalan appeal for a high tackle on Jordan Desiree. 4 tackles gone.
Drinkwater's out the back, left foot.
No, it's Gil Dudson. The referee says play on. Dudson can't make any progress. Are they going to go for it? Maloney will. Maloney will. Maloney will win it for the Catalan Dragons. Maloney did it in round 1 against Hull Kingston Rovers. He's done it at James Maloney, who's hanging up his boots at the end of this season, strikes that one from distance to win the game. To win the game for the Catalan Dragons. What a finish! 30 points to 12 down, and they have won it in golden points.